Trump has three options for dealing with North Korea and why they will all fail. The U.S. president vowed to stop the Hermit Kingdom developing a nuclear warhead capable of reaching the U.S. mainland, saying, "It's not going to happen." Trump has threatened to totally destroy North Korea, ordered dummy bombing runs on Kim's palace and sent an armada of nuclear aircraft carriers to its border. The UN has slapped sanctions on the communist regime. But Kim has plowed on with repeated bomb and missile tests and vowed to never give up his nuclear program for 1,000 years. Rocket Man, Kim Jong-un appears to be laughing at Donald Trump. If a full-blown war breaks out, which is looking increasingly likely, it could spiral into World War III with China and Russia, and everyone agrees millions of civilians will die. So what options are left for Trump? Decapitation strike. Trump could order a military mission to take out Kim and his cronies. The lightning strike would cut off the head of the regime, preventing it from commanding a war before it even begins. South Korean forces even practiced for this last month. David Maxwell, a former U.S. Special Forces colonel, who has done 5 tours of South Korea, explained why it wouldn't work. Special Forces, David Maxwell served on 5 tours in South Korea. He told BBC Panorama, "We have to realize their entire system is designed to protect Kim Jong-un. There are 3 rings of defense around him, and it's likely he will be in a deeply buried underground facility that will have to be penetrated while there are military forces counterattacking. Attack Kim's nuclear facilities. The U.S. has a huge air force and missile arsenal. It could surely blast the factories building Kim's nukes and the launch pads designed for firing them to Kingdom Come. But it might not be that easy. North Korea has a huge number of facilities involved in the nuclear weapons program, and many of them are underground. Blast OFF, North Korea's Hwasong-14 intercontinental ballistic missile could reach the U.S. Curtis Melvin, of the U.S. Korea Institute at Johns Hopkins University in the U.S., pointed to a hillside thought to contain an entire nuclear factory under a thick wood of trees. "I would say most of North Korea's important military infrastructure is underground," he told Panorama. North Korea has artillery massed along its border with the South, and if the U.S. did attempt to strike, it would fire back with everything it's got. South Korea, which houses 24,000 U.S. soldiers, would bear the brunt of this. Mr. Maxwell said, "It's hard to put a number on the blood and treasure that would be expended. But we would have a greater loss of civilian life than we have seen in any war since World War II and Korea." Diplomacy. Trump could try to persuade Kim to give up his nuclear program. The U.S. has admitted it has channels of communication to Kim, and it has been putting pressure on China, North Korea's main ally, to force the trigger-happy regime to negotiate. The U.S. has already got China and Russia to agree a much tougher raft of sanctions, strangling off the cash Kim uses to fund his military. Christopher Hill, who was U.S. negotiator to North Korea from 2005 to 2009, said, "I do believe that if the U.S. does stay engaged on it and makes it clear to the North Koreans that we are not walking away from this, they will come to understand a life with nuclear weapons can be very difficult, because it will involve the United States coming after them day and night." But Trump has said talking with Little Rocket Man is a waste of time. And regime insiders appear to back this up. North Korean defector Kim Kwang-shin said Kim Jong-un would never give up his nuclear weapons. He told Panorama, their goal of making these weapons is to drive out U.S. troops from South Korea, so before that they will never give up. Kim Jong-un will never give up his nuclear weapons.